Mic check, mic check. Mic check. All right, so we should be good now. All right. Audio okay? Good, good. I clicked some toggle, apparently. Turned it off. I'll get this figured out. Quality is much better. There goes futures. Futures, boom. All right, looks good. Cloudera looks good. Workhorse pulling back. Roku still going. Roku breaking out. All right, so pretty much everything is working above VWAP. Caterpillar bouncing at VWAP, buyers stepping up, volume picking up. Roku, wow, Roku is going to be one of those days on Roku. Roku's back. Expansion day. Roku continuation. Wow, Roku is just killing it today. One good trade a day, folks. That's all you need. One good trade a day. Look at that volume. Holy smokes. That's nice. All right, Disney pulling back the VWAP. Cloudera looks good. Wow, Roku is really kicking it. Virgin Galactic, a nice flag. Look for this to break higher on the 60-minute as well. NIMO is not turned higher, so that's a little concerning. As we push higher, we have some divergence in the markets. All right, so everything looks pretty good for now. Spot continuation. Just keep an eye on the futures. Futures at highs. All right, we're getting a little selling pressure there. 3450 was the resistance coming into this week. And then we added Gamma. Had some roll this week. We're at resistance right now, 3450. All right, so we're watching for that roll. That could affect, if they roll these calls up from 3450 up to 3500, which is what I'm suspecting. That's good. DG has earnings. Actually, this is nice. This is nice being out in the at the park. Buy the dip signal on AMD. Potential buy the dip signal on AMD. Thank you. That's called teamwork. I really appreciate it. AMD 1.3 RVol. Yeah, I'm looking at it too. It looks like an area where we might bounce on AMD. Maybe try some AMD with a stop just underneath the current low. All right, watching AMD. Watching AMD. All right, let's keep an eye on this. AMD. Workhorse looks interesting too. Potential buy the dip on Workhorse. AMD. All right, I'd like to see this get back above VWAP. I'm gonna hold off on AMD until it gets above VWAP. Okay. All right, AMD continuation looks good. AMD. Watch AMD for a buy the dip. Looking for a buy the dip on AMD. Looking for a buy the dip. Workhorse as well. All right, AMD looking better. Also want to keep an eye on Workhorse. That one has a potential move setting up. Watch Workhorse here. CRM.
Moderna now hitting $71, 6.5% mRNA, following those headlines.
Okay, Workhorse looks good. Workhorse looks like it's going to follow through here. Watch it, Workhorse. Workhorse bouncing. Workhorse added shares. All right, stop under that low of the day at 17.15.
Continues to rapidly strengthen and is expected to become extremely dangerous. Category 4 hurricane, catastrophic storm surge, extreme winds and flash flooding expected along the northwest Gulf Coast tonight. That's on the National Hurricane Center.
Okay, Caterpillar on the move. Roku's on the move. Disney pulling back. Disney traded on the exchanges. Most likely will see higher highs and higher lows. It's not going to go straight up every single 5-minute candle. Daily looks much better, and the 60-minute R-vol on Disney, significant. Watching Workhorse here for a move back up to the highs. Day trading shares, Disney pulling back. Like I said, Caterpillar following through. Cloudera flagging at the highs. Could pull back to the daily. Let me see what the 60-minute looks like. 60-minute on Cloudera. All right, that looks good. Lots of volume today. That looks good. There's a potential short on get the hell out signal on Cloudera right here. Disney pulling back more. There goes Caterpillar. Workhorse doing well. Workhorse is doing well. Nike bouncing. That looks good. Workhorse as well. All right, we're right up against VWAP. Workhorse at VWAP. Watch it here. All right, watch Workhorse here. If it gets rejected at VWAP, might take some profits off. Looking for AMD to cruise higher. AMD was a really nice mover yesterday. RVOL on Workhorse is 2.19. AMD is starting to pick up as well. Roku looks good. Overbought level 1. Rocket Mortgages pulling back to 26.66, consolidating recent gains. NIMO still pointing lower, so that's a bit concerning. As we rise, breadth should be improving. Roku, wow, what a day on Roku, huh? Wow. Roku doing well. What do you guys think of the quality? The quality is much better on StreamYard and YouTube, right? I watch Caterpillar. All right, so relative strength persists. SPY is at the highs. Roku continuation. Futures, 3450 was the level we thought we might reach this week, gamma-wise. And 3,500 is the upper level. If they start rolling up calls from 3,450 up to 3,500, and gamma continues to improve, make sure you read the gamma channel on a daily basis. It's updated. If that happens, then we could see a follow-through up to 3,500 on the S&P futures before September expiration. We've got 4 weeks to go. There goes futures again. Futures starting to surge. Futures surging. Looks like Disney's going to put in a higher low here. There goes futures. All right, so Workhorse is stalling just underneath VWAP. So is AMD. AMD back to VWAP. AMD's back to VWAP. All right, AMD at VWAP. Nike's at VWAP. Workhorse is at VWAP. Cloudera looks like it's going to keep going. Soto futures at this point, but tick cumulative is bearish. Yeah, I can't play copyrighted music on YouTube. All right, so futures are bouncing. Cloudera's hanging in there. Workhorse coming back a bit. AMD initially getting getting rejected. Excuse me. Workhorse getting rejected at VWAP. Roku flagging again at the highs. 60-minute daily is in a nice pattern here. Looks like we could see a little pullback in Roku from the highs. Just be aware of it. Oh, what a nice trade on Roku. Love to see this continue. Love to see Roku continue.
Shares of Alibaba trading at 289.11.
The volume is 3.94. Definitely in play. Well away from VWAP. All right, Roku. Looks like we're going to take some profits off on Roku.
DKS Dick's Sporting Goods company saying they are actively hiring now. Delta Kilo Sandy, that on their conference call. DKS.
All right, so we're starting to anticipate a BC pivot on Roku. Take some off at the highs. That's the A pivot right now. Potential for this to come back to VWAP. We'd look for buyers to step up. Maybe they want to test to see if there's anybody there. Heavy volume to sell, or are they going to buy? A pivot on Roku. Definitely looks like an A pivot. All right, sold some day trade shares there on Roku. Looking for a little pullback. Nice day on Roku with a follow through. And looks really good. Looks really good. Thank you very much. Roku up 8.5%, $12.60. We got much of this move on the day trade shares today as the position moved above VWAP after the opening range and it broke out. Look at the volume on the 5-minute chart. That's the 10-minute chart that's displayed. I'll look to reload day trade shares on a pullback. All right, Workhorse got rejected at VWAP. Looking for that to bounce. Looking for AMD to get through VWAP. As futures continued to hug the 34.53 zone over the last 25 minutes. Anybody catch Steve Hammer's update on algos, buy programs, etc.? Watching tick cumulative, he's probably going to say they're selling into strength. That's what it looks like on tick cumulative right now. Tick cumulative suggests they're selling into strength. Tick cumulative suggests they're selling into strength. I would do the same. All right, unless we start blasting higher. If we do, we could see some roll, options roll from the 34.50 up to 3,500, which is where a lot of it's congregating at the moment. Thank you, Corey. All right, we're hanging at the highs, though. It's 1-to-1 up-down volume, so not bad. AMD trying to push its way through VWAP. If that happens, might add again. Day trade shares. Caterpillar above VWAP. Little congestion there. Cloudera looks good. Workhorse. All right, we got a higher low on Workhorse. That looks like it could continue. AMD looking for it to push through VWAP. That would be nice. AMD, that would be nice. Looking for a follow through. Okay, cool. Virgin Galactic looks like it might get moving here. Watch, it's a TTM squeeze on Virgin Galactic. Nike going. Nike's going. Nike's going. Looks good. Nike's going. Roku hanging in there, looking for a B pivot here. Nike's really on the move now. Okay, we need to see more volume on Nike, but other than that, it looks good. Futures pressing higher. Wow, futures just keep going. I don't know what the deal is here. All right, Caterpillar, nice bounce. AMD rejected summarily at VWAP, so was Workhorse. Nike's going. Roku looking for a B pivot above VWAP. Nike looks good here. Nike. Let's see what Nike looks like on the daily. AMD rejected. Nike's on the move. Back up to the highs of the day, Nike. Let's see what the 60-minute looks like. Workhorse rejected. VWAP starting to flatten out on Workhorse. All right, so here's Nike. 60-minute higher lows, consolidating since yesterday. All my dreams seem far away. All right, Nike. All right, so it's flagging up here. All right. So we have this nice consolidation, cup, a handle pattern, and then the breakout. So it's got about 15 to 20 points. If you can swing it, if you can handle swinging it. First target is about 115, then about 125. Workhorse and AMD pulling back. Looking for a bounce. Cloudera, relative strength remaining above VWAP. Futures are just crazy strong. All right. Futures are hanging in there. Disney looking for a bounce. Looks like a B pivot on Disney. So first test of AMD's VWAP got rejected. First test of Workhorse VWAP got rejected as well. Nike's at the highs. Roku pulling back to a B pivot. Roku looks good for a B pivot. All right, Nike looks better. Virgin Galactic just flagging. Caterpillar approaching the high of the day. Caterpillar. What can go wrong? What can go wrong this week? Everything. When it rains, it pours. But the market's okay. Here we go. Futures starting to turn in a little bit, take some profits off. Futures starting to show profit taking. Take some off here. Futures are starting to pull in. Futures are starting to pull in. All right, take some profits. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate it. Futures coming back in. It's 1-to-1 up down volume. All right, Disney B pivot, Caterpillar pulling back, Cloudera holding at the highs. AMD looks like it's going to make a new low. Nike, a little profit taking there as well. All right, Nike reached the highs. Day traders probably took some off there, I would imagine. Waiting for a bounce. Waiting for a bounce. Futures just a little. Somebody took some profits there. Looks like buyers are starting to step up right now, so we'll see how that plays out. All right, I gotta have to stop clicking on buttons here. Just checking something. Kicked me out. Let's see. I see you talking about Jemai, whatever the hell the name of it is. Jemai. Jmia. All right, so I pull back a little bit. Buy the dip potential here on Jemai. Roku's still pulling back. I'm looking for a reload point for day trading if it stays active today. It's in play, trading almost 4-to-1 up volume, 4-to-1 relative volume, I should say. Chegg, nice bounce. Thank you, Jimmy. Workhorse and AMD working on this low at the present time. Looking for it to push off of this level. Cloudera is still at the highs, showing relative strength today on 1.6 R-ball. Futures trying to bounce at this level. All right, we've got a nice bounce in the futures. Looking for Caterpillar and Disney. Looks like a B pivot on Disney. Still no B pivot on AMD or Workhorse. Jamai trying to turn. Jamai is trying to turn. Virgin Galactic holding. Virgin Galactic looks like it might bounce. Still having issues with with breath. Excuse me. All right. Thank you for the shares, by the way, Lee Star. All right. Nike at the highs flagging. Roku looking for a B pivot. Virgin Galactic pulling back the VWAP. NIMO still not turning up as price action futures are at highs again. That's pretty bizarre. Tick cumulative is lower. I suspect that we've got some selling going on into strength. I don't know how they're managing to keep this higher. Our futures moving higher. Let's see what Facebook looks like. These individual big cap stocks moving higher does have an impact on futures. As you might have read in the Gamma channel update this morning. Facebook, when was the last time? You remember the last time? It was a while back. We had several days of really big moves on Facebook, expansion. We had expansion, periods of expansion and contraction. Facebook last 2 days have been really stellar performance. Roku, big expansion day on Roku as well. Caterpillar, again coming back. Disney testing the low of the day there. That pivot low anyway, not the low of the day. All right, looking for AMD and Workhorse to maybe follow through here. All right, so AMD, trying one more time, looking for above average volume. Looking for above average volume here on this move. Same with Workhorse. Jumai just can't get out of its own way. All right. All right, Nike pulling back now. It's been in this sideways range, flagging for the last few days. Nike. Looking for AMD to follow through. Disney trying to test the low right here, this pivot low. Been in a sideways range for the last 35, 40 minutes. Cloudera breaking out some more. Cloudera looks good. Let me see what Cloudera looks like. Cloudera looks very strong. 1.57 RVol. Let's see what daily looks like. Yeah, it looks like it's just going to keep going. Finally got that expansion day. Get an expansion day on Cloudera, then it goes to sleep for a couple of days. Looks like it's going to keep going. It's breaking out right now, Cloudera. ABCD pattern on Cloudera looks good. Cloudera breaking higher. Cloudera definitely breaking higher. All right, let me go to 15-minute. There you go. Cloudera's breaking out. All right, Cloudera breaking out again. ABCD pattern. Cloudera going. There goes Cloudera. All right, looks good on the daily. All right. $1.6 R ball. Looking for follow through. Workhorse. There goes AMD. AMD trying. All right, this is the second attempt to try to get through VWAP. If we do, look for AMD to rally. Probably start a position above VWAP if it follows through. Stop just below. Disney by the dip is starting to trigger. Caterpillar, wow, it's crazy stock. Cloudera still going, looks good. Disney potential by the dip. Disney. There goes AMD. Cloudera looks good for $13.95 or so. Got another $1.30 to go, looks like. All right, there goes Cloudera breaking out. There it goes. There she goes. 1.6 R vol. Looks good. Cloudera. Space Jam. SPCE. Looking for that to follow through. Looking for volume. Volume starting to pick up a little bit. All right. AMD not able to get above VWAP yet. There goes Jemai. Hold on one second, guys. I got to get this. Hold on one second, please. Yes. Yes. I'm doing good. Can you call me back at the 4? I'm actually in a live broadcast. Thank you. All right. Looking good. Looking good. All right. So there goes Spy. Spy breaking out. I don't think. Whoa, look at Spy go. Holy smokes. There you go. Holy smokes. Wow. Look at the futures. All right, what happened? Do we not have any audio here? What's the deal? We're live. All right, so we're good there. All right. That was a nice move on futures. And there goes Cloudera. Okay, it looks like It looks like AMD pushing through VWAP here. There goes Cloudera breaking out. Caterpillar, AMD. Cloudera doing well. AMD right at VWAP right here, right now. Watching AMD. Big pop on SPY. And the futures, Cloudera continuation. Big spike on SPY. All right, so that looks good. Big move on SPY. Looks a lot. Looks a lot more impressive on the shorter time frames. AMD getting rejected at VWAP. Roku looks like it's going to continue. Nice little B pivot there. Virgin Galactic pulling back a bit. Cloudera looks like it could pull in a little. That was a nice little move. I can't believe the strength in the futures. We could make it all the way to 3,500 this week at this rate. SPY just keeps going. All right, futures. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Look at the futures. Takimatu still pointing lower. So they have to be hedging. They have to be hedging. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. What a day on the spiders. All right. Future's still going. It's like Christmas. Netflix looks good. AMD trying to do something. Netflix continuation. Wow. Should drag quite a few stocks with. Cloudera flagging. Virgin Galactic pulling back a little bit now. Netflix. What a day on Netflix. Look at the volume on Netflix. Holy smokes. You're right, Grover. Holy smokes. Look at Netflix. My gosh. That's crazy. Cloudera looking good too, very similar. 60-minute chart, well above average volume, continues. Following through. Wow, this is really nice. Good day on Netflix. Look for B, C pivots now. ADI looks like it wants to break out too. Pretty strong. Analog devices. All right, I'm just sitting here going through the charts. Analog devices looking for a follow through at the highs of the day. AMD, third attempt to try to get through VWAP. Will they do it this time? Well, the VWAP is changing direction, so that's a good thing. We'll see if that follows through. Caterpillar. All right, VWAP is flattening out on a lot of these. Cloudera hanging in there, though. Cloudera is hanging in there. There goes ADI. ADI Looks good for a swing. I like it, Grover. Just been sitting here going through the charts, watching AMD. Semiconductors having a decent day, I guess, all things considered, with the futures at highs. Wow. $3,500.
It's 12 o'clock.
All right, Disney moving back above VWAP. Disney back above VWAP. All right, Disney looking good for a follow through here. Ooh, let me plug this in. I'm about to lose my charge on my other laptop. Those AC DC converters for your car are really great to have, especially on occasions like this. All right. Disney going. Cloudera high of the day. AMD still can't get above VWAP. Workhorse looks like it's going to turn. Jumai looks like it's going to head lower. ADI breaking out. ADI breaking out. Let me just go to Qs real quick and see. Qs continue to push. All right. All right, there goes ADI going. All right, ADI continuation. Looks good. ADI going. All right, AMD trying again. AMD third attempt. To get above VWAP. Disney, nice follow through. Futures at the highs, just keeps going. Wow. Impressive. Netflix looks good. NIMO still hasn't turned up yet. ADI moving higher. All right, I'm going to take a break here shortly, folks. Let me see what they have to say on Schwab, CNBC. AMD trying to go. AMD is trying to go here.
Will this stop? Will it stop? And maybe to Stephanie's point, it won't for a long time.
AMD moving above VWAP.
It might not for a long time. It's very hard to predict when momentum will end. Momentum is your friend when you're an investor in the market, and this environment is good for the kind of companies that we've been talking about. Their earnings as sales forces have increased more than expected, and to step off that train is very dangerous. Not to say they don't look at valuation. You have to trim back when stocks get to the nosebleed territory. But these stocks and companies are showing the results that are exceeding expectations. So it's very hard to step away.
Yeah, and Tiffany, we'll look at a name like a Facebook, if you will. This is, I think, pretty much the poster child for what's happening today. Facebook is up nearly 5.5%. $100 a share, and maybe you know something I don't. I can't see any upgrades, anything on the name, and yet it is adding millions in market cap just today. It kind of exemplifies the entire thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Just for the record, I have no information about Facebook. Other than this just really is the case for
There goes AMD.
makes some great points, and tech clearly is just really driving a great deal of the movement right now. I'm an investor. I'm looking at where not only what am I invested in, but how I'm invested. Am I invested in passive versus active funds? Am I invested in stocks? And we need to take advantage of what's going on. They really should be, yes, looking at valuations and trimming and rebalancing, but also moving from passive to active, clearly, right? And then also from some, broader funds into individual names. And really, again, this is a stock pickers environment. Certain things doing extremely well, like tech, like Tesla, which we're going to touch on later, which I still don't understand. But it really is this this process where you have to pay attention to what's doing well and what, not just in this time, but what has shifted. This business has shifted because of the current environment that's going to continue to last going forward.
Yeah, I mean, stock pickers market, you're right, Tiffany. You wouldn't think so, but actually there's a lot of stocks that are still down huge year to date. Joe, before we get into the individual names like Tiffany just referenced, I want to ask you about one more thing, which is the dollar. Everything is going up except that. Maybe we can throw up the dollar index chart or something. How much does the weakening dollar, down 5 months in a row against the major world currencies, how much does that play into this bullish theme?
Well, I think first of all, the dollar.
ADI, nice move on ADI.
It's down 3.3% on the year, and much of that loss has been in the most recent quarter. I think there's a significant benefit outside of the United States to a lower dollar. I also think, to Stephanie's earlier commentary as it relates to the Federal Reserve, removing the shortage of global dollars, there was a significant shortage by the liquidity that was provided by the Federal Reserve, has been an incredibly positive catalyst. So I don't think the lower dollar story is about rising deficits or some form of ominous fiscal condition. I think it really is based on the actions of the Federal Reserve. And lastly, while it does have a significant tailwind, just listening to this conversation, Brian, if you think back, the S&P 500 has not been below 2,000 since the early part of 2016. And I think the way that we are appreciating so significantly in the last 5 months, I think you now raise that floor where you have to question, do you ever go back below 2,500 again? Think about it. 10% lower doesn't even get you back below 3,000.
Well, that's a good point. All right. We got a lot more macro discussion coming up. But right now, why don't we get a little bit more micro and name some names? Because analysts are lining up to get more bullish by the day. And they keep raising their
Thank you, Corey.
Really, it's not one Don's bullish calls out today. First up, what else? Apple. Price
ADI still going. Looks good. Expansion day.
Analysts there, Dan Ives, adding an additional sort of second $700 ultra bull target, saying about 1/3 of worldwide iPhones may need to be upgraded in the next year and a half. Stephanie, 2 price targets, each more bullish than the last, 1/3 upgrades. What's your take on that call? Too bullish?
Well, I think Dan is a very thoughtful analyst, so I pay attention to when he makes any kind of changes, especially on Apple. He knows the thing very, very well. And I think he's telling us what other analysts have been telling us and what we as owners believe very much, that you have a super cycle headed our way at with the 5G technology. It's coming. I think there were rumors that it was going to get pushed out much longer than we initially expected. You're going to now see it in October or September, so that's not a really big deal. You've got a company that just grew services in the quarter 15%, and oh, by the way, that carries 300 basis point better.
All right, what's AMD doing? AMD is going.
Leverage and the operating leverage, and the hardware, the phone investors, more like retail in this name, and they'll get excited about it. Maybe they push it up to 700. I'd be happy as a shareholder. But let's see how this whole launch goes, this 5G launch, because I think that's going to be the catalyst to get this thing a lot higher.
Yeah, by the way, if you're wondering, that stock split, which locked in Monday, goes into effect next Monday. So you're wondering, why not you, of course, but our viewers, that price is where it is. Monday's the day we're actually going to see it. Again, there have been numerous reports, Kerry, that stock splits just by themselves boost stocks by 5 to 8%. Are you a buyer of Apple just on that as well as fundamentals?
I don't think any professional investor who's buying because he's seriously is doing her or his job. I mean, splits should have nothing to do with the value of the stock. Just on the point about the price and price targets, if we think about what Steph alluded to, that the service side and app side of Apple has become more dominant, and it's a higher margin business. To get to 6,
All right, AMD going.
24, whatever, wherever we're going to go from where the split is, 25. All you need is for the margins to move higher with services, for the growth rate of the revenues to be up 10 to 15%, which is possible on that side of the business. And then you'll have the earnings multiple, which now is about 30 times on higher earnings, get you 20% up on earnings over the next couple of years. And that, if you equate that on the multiple, you can get to 600 easily, up 20% just because of earnings growth. So, 600.
AMD looks good following through.
In the range that we can see this ultra bullish call, as you referred to, of 700, that's a big number. But
Futures at the highs. Have to think that we're going to come in a little bit at this rate.
Yeah, Joe, there are 42 brokers, sell-side analysts with votes with public price targets on Apple.
Let's see what VXX looks like.
Below where the stock is right now. If it's moving today on Wedbush and Dan Ives, I'm not knocking Dan, he's a great guy. We're going to have to see a flurry of other analysts get in line, do their thing, raise their targets. In other words, it could be a big sell-side push coming from the other 39 analysts on Apple's. So that's exactly what the analyst community will historically do. As prices move higher, they will react to that and they will raise their price targets. I will give you a name in the fangs that the analysts will be raising price targets because it looks as if the sleeping giant that is Netflix has awakened once again today. Netflix has been trading in a sideways pattern post earnings. Look at it today, up 9%. Now you've got all the fangs participating in the appreciation. Yeah, great point as always, Joe. Look at Netflix. Wow, 9%. How did we miss that one at the top? All right, next up, Jefferies boosting its target on Tesla to, I guess, a rather stunning street high $2,500. Now, the analysts, to be fair, have been way behind at a $1,200 target, so had to do either change jobs, Tiffany, or raise the price target. But to my previous point, there's only 3 Tesla analysts that are above where the stock is right now. You said earlier you don't really understand it, but it sounds like your clients are demanding you buy it.
Yeah, so we've owned Tesla for a while, and it really was driven by client interest. Again, I don't understand the pixie dust that's been sprinkled on Tesla. Elon Musk is an absolute rock star. I think I've said before, every earnings season I look forward to the Tesla earnings call because it's pure entertainment. It's half messy, half just a surprise. You never know what he's going to say. And I just kind of picture everybody in that room just like cringing because they don't really even know what Elon Musk is going to say. So I just don't understand it. But listen, they're making it.
Tiffany, do you have to? This is going to sound crazy. Maybe I am crazy. Do you have to understand Tesla? I mean that sincerely. Like, we've got to make fundamental valuation arguments for it. You can't. You just have to say it's a cool company run by a genius who does all kinds of crazy things, and it somehow works out. End of story.
Drop the mic. Absolutely. That's it.
guys, perhaps, who also says outsized things, and that is Salesforce.com. Shares there surging to a new all-time high after quarterly earnings and revenue not only beat expectations, it crushed them. The company raised full-year guidance, Steph. You're in on this one. You've been on this one. You gonna sell it at all into this strength?
No, I think this was flawless execution against low expectations, especially after the co-CEO Keith Block left in February. So I think this demonstrates that they have a very strong bench and they're really hitting their stride.
Oh my gosh, look at futures.
XM&A and X currency was up 20%. Their RPO bookings were up 34%. People were thinking 16, 17. I mean, he just crushed it. And operating margins 400 basis points better than the street. I mean, they just, you can't throw anything at this quarter and say anything's negative. Even the free cash flow was better than expected. So I think it's been a laggard. It is a juggernaut. It is a leader in SaaS cloud. And I've said this before, total addressable market is going to be $1 trillion by the end of this decade in SaaS cloud. Why would I want to get off of this at that point, given that these guys are the leader? So I'm just going to let it ride.
It's the new Rolling Stones song, Carrie. Hey, you get onto my cloud. Is there anything in this quarter, in the guidance, in the stock? I'm just going to keep doing it while you guys let me. Is there anything you see, Carrie, that makes you pause at all?
Okay, Nick. No, I mean you have to go with the flow, right? It was under 200.
VXX calls at the lows here. You got to think this is going to reverse at some point. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. The trend is up. The trend is definitely up. Let's go take a look at SPY. What I've been saying for weeks and weeks and weeks, as long as we've got this white brick situation, no red bricks, that's telling you to be bullish the markets, remove the noise. Sales, earnings, and guidance have been much better than anyone could have imagined or expected. Analysts included. Big breakout on the SPY, up nearly 60% from the low. Really hard to be bearish. All right, we're breaking out of this pattern. Wow, pretty impressive. All right, we're getting very extended. I'm thinking I'm going to buy some VIX calls here. Let me do that real quick.
That was a good one, and you extricated yourself from that. I'm going to stick with you, though, Joe. Would you buy it now?
All right, VIX. Rinko continues to print. White bricks. We got the weekly breaking out. Let's go take a look at NYSE. We want to see the breadth improving. Let's see breadth improving. All right, we're still not outside of NYAD, is not out of the red zone. So that's telling you to be a little bit cautious. All right, we're looking for our peak, a higher peak. A number of new highs beating out new lows, 65. More new highs than new lows. Green elder sticks. All right, looks good. So far, it looks good to me. Futures continue to push higher. All right, I'm going to buy some VIX calls. This is crazy.
Salesforce has been a pioneer in SaaS software
All right, let me buy some calls here, VIX calls. All right, stop talking, lady. Stop talking. All right, let me put in an order for VIX calls, VXX. Let's see, trade. VXX. Short term. I'll buy 10 of those. Market. All right, let's see. VXX calls. 2 days. What's VXX? VXX is at 2379. 2379. 2379. Let's see. Vic. Wow, we're ripping higher here. VXX doesn't look that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Continue to move lower. I'll keep this window open. I'll probably add to it. Wow, VXX is dropping in the toilet. Oh my, this is really crazy, this price action. Oh my, I cannot even believe what I'm seeing right now. Oh my, I can't even believe what I'm seeing. The markets are ripping higher. Tick cumulative shows that they've been selling into strength, has yet to turn up. Wow. All right, I'm going to go ahead and buy some calls here. This is about right here. All right. I'm going to buy some VXX calls for next week, next Friday. The let's see here. The 24s. Where are we right now? We are at 2373. All right, what did I buy? September the 4th. All right, AMD, Disney, all of these doing well. All right, nice little move here in AMD. Looking for another pop. Hopefully we can get a pop out of this before the markets pull in. What time is it? 12:30. I need to take a break here.
Apple COVID plus stocks that include CRM and Visa, Boston Scientific, Medtronic, names that didn't see much take up on revenue and profitability possible at the beginning of the virus, but are now seeing a benefit when people can go back to work and start to see the spending that's going on in hospitals, in business settings. So yes, I think it's the
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Sue Herrera. Here's your CNBC News update at this hour.
Okay, Workhorse starting to turn up here. Workhorse trying to move back above VWAP. All right, I'm gonna break here in about 15 minutes. I'm gonna break and I'm gonna go get something to eat for lunch, and I'm gonna come right back here and broadcast from this location because this seems to be working, at least temporarily. Thank you for your patience. The takeaway is this: even though I had some snafus this morning with my internet provider, I don't take any new positions during the first half hour of the day anyway. So that's telling you to be wait for the opening range, wait for VWAP to mature. We take trades after 10 o'clock once we see what institutions are doing. So as luck would have it, I got out of my house as soon as I noticed I was going to have a problem just before the opening bell. I came here, and the takeaway is that you should be doing the same thing every day. You should be looking for high relative volume. Look for long trades that are above VWAP after 10 o'clock. And VWAP is rising and not flat. For shorts, you want the opposite. You want VWAP to be price to be below VWAP and trending lower. Okay. So right now we got Workhorse turning up sharply. We got AMD moving right back up to the highs. So that day trade is working very well. During lunch, I'll take about a 15-20 minute lunch. I won't, maybe 30 minutes. I won't be broadcasting live while I wait for my screw up of a internet company, Cablevision Optimum, to get their act together. I don't think that's going to happen today, but We'll see.
Shell and privately held Trans World. Now, there are a couple of reasons
Workhorse on the move.
futures are actually down right now. Number one, gasoline inventories, they're actually about 7% higher than they were last
AMD
year,
pushing higher.
so they can absorb
VXX continues to move lower. That's a small bet, by the way, VXX.
the time is the key also.
I'm net long the markets. We're starting to flag at the highs. This is a crazy ass move today. 24 handles. All right, it's not as much as I thought it was, but definitely looking good. All right, SPY coming in, futures coming in. What is ADI? ADI. All right, take some profits off if you're day trading ADI. That's off about 25 cents from the high of the day. eBay looking for a follow through. AMD. AMD continuation. Looks good. Trying to get back up to the highs of the day. ABCD pattern playing out on AMD. Workhorse is at VWAP again. All right, so we're starting to turn right here. Still 1-to-1 up. This is bizarre looking. 1-to-1 up down volume. Tick cumulative is moving lower. Huh. All right, so futures are starting to come back in now. We got Disney at the highs. Cloudera just off the highs. AMD trying to push. Workhorse trying to push. ADI. All right, looks like a little flag, a little ABCD pattern, or a flag in a higher low pivot. AMD, ADI. All right, what are these guys doing? Are they taking a break? All right, looks good. Looks good. All right, Workhorse at VWAP, starting to push through VWAP. There goes Roku. Roku is on the move again. What a day for Roku. Roku having quite the day. There goes Roku. SPY pulling back. SPY's pulling back. Looks like we had good timing on those fix calls for now. All right, I need to take a lunch break. All right, guys, I'm going to take a lunch break. I'm going to take a quick lunch break. I'll be back. Just check the link. Okay, folks, I'll be back. I'll be monitoring. We'll monitor. All right.